Hi guys, I have another sort of video for you today. Today I'm going to show you how I prepare my cross-stitch project, my bigger cross-stitch project. This was actually asked by several of my subscribers over at my vlog channel. On my vlog channel I do daily updates of my life, but also daily updates on my cross-stitch projects, because I do cross-stitch a couple of hours a day, and mostly in front of the telly, but usually a couple of hours a day. And I grid all my fabrics and I prepare my fabrics pretty well, because I see that the time I put in of actually taking care of the preparations, I win actually in when I produce the cross stitch. So that is why I work this way. But I thought first I wanted to show you how I throw my edges. You can do this as a sewing machine, you can do this, I have seen people do it with special tapes. I do it with sewing thread, and I use a cheap sewing thread from IKEA. It was sold in like 4 packs. I don't know how it looks now. I bought this I think 5 or 10 years ago. You got a 4-pack, 2 whites, 1 black and 1 beige. You also had in different colors, and usually before I gridded also in this kind of thread, but nowadays I grid in this easy count. But I'm going to show you this later. But it's an ordinary white cotton thread. All you want to do is first you fasten your thread, and you do that by, see if you can see that, just stitching in the same hole a couple of times, no more harder than that. And then when I thread the edges, I just continuously going around the fabric, and I do it about an inch and a half stitches. I make sure that I have a couple, like 4 to 5 threads. This is even weave, so I need 4 to 5 threads underneath my needle to the edge, sort of. If I used Aida, that would only need like 2 boxes, because Aida is much more stable. The edges on even weave have a much higher tendency to fray. As you see, I just picked this out of the package, it's already fraying. So it's very important to do this kind of thing around the edges, whether or not you're using a sewing machine or tape or how you do it. I do it with thread because I like how it ends up, and I do it by hand. So all you do when you do these stitches, see if you can see me do it. I know it's white on white, I'm sorry. I have the thread on the top of the fabric, so I go underneath the fabric, stitches up between an inch and a half. Again, I just pick the thread on top, like that, and go underneath. And this I just do all around my fabric. So that my edges don't fray. And when the thread runs out, I just fasten it a couple of times in the same hole, 3 to 4 times. Then I cut a new length of thread and I fasten that the same way, just a little bit at the side. And then I just continue doing the loops. And yeah, one of the reasons why I chose to do this by hand this way is that if you do it with a sewing machine, or if you use tape or such, you might actually need to cut away this part if you don't want to have it when you frame your piece. Now, I don't like cutting away things from the fabric. I like to be able to just pull the thread out carefully, so I do it by hand. And yeah, it takes a little bit longer before I get to start on the project, but then again I know that it is quality made and that I have done everything that is possible for me to help this project to actually finish in a good way. Now I'm just gonna finish this side and then we'll start the gridding. So now I'm gonna show you how I grid my fabric. I'm using this easy count guideline. Let's see if I can get it there. It is a nylon thing, and the good thing about it is that you can't pierce it. On my head I'm actually using this kind of thread, but in a blue color. I don't recommend that. because I am piercing it several times and it's gonna be a pain to get it out. But I have gridded it, I don't want to re-grid it, and it probably will work out fine. It will just be a little bit fiddly to make sure that the blue of the threads doesn't show up on the upper side. And as I don't wash my fabric, I don't have to worry about the blue tainting it. But I'm using this because this is actually very easy to pull out later. And to begin with, I have cut one length that is as long as my fabric. Now my fabric is bigger than my camera screen, but yeah, that's how it is. And the reason for just cutting a length that is as long is because I'm gonna make the cross first, the middle cross first. And when the middle cross is done, I will have longer length and they are going to loop, because that will keep it hold fast better. So what I do to find the middle, I take the fabric, I fold it in half like this, because this is the easiest, and then I just choose the hole I want to go into, which is in this case just in the middle. So that's how I start my gridding. Then these nylon threads I don't fasten because they will kind of fold up on themselves anyway. So I just leave a little tail and then I start the up and down. And now here's the thing. When I make bigger projects and I make them on even weave, I just try to get an equal amount between these, is keep in the same hole and do an equal amount. Let's see if I can do this on camera. Just up and down carefully throughout the fabric. I don't count specific amounts because that would take too much time. I just do the grid as I want to, but I make sure that I keep in the same whole line all the way. And this is fiddly and this does take time, but as these projects are projects you work on so long, this is hopefully not going to take me more than 6 months, and I will do an update on the craft channel when it's full done, but I do continuously update on the vlogging channel, so if you like that kind of thing, you can go there. We'll see, I might do some monthly updates on my blog also. We'll see. I haven't done that. Usually don't just show my progress on my cross stitches, but maybe if you like that kind of thing, you can post down below and tell me if you like that kind of thing. But this is how I go, just up and down, up and down. Put it up here and you can see, and I'll be right back and show you the other cross. And now for the gridding part. A few notes. I'm showing you this on the short side of the fabric, and in this case I'm actually lucky because the middle part is a grid line. So here I would just count 10 stitches, do a line, count 10 stitches, do a line, count 10 stitches, do a line. When it comes to the other direction of the fabric, the middle part here is actually in the middle of 2 grid lines. So there I will start 5 stitches on the side of it, of the middle line on one side and 5 stitches on the other. I'm going to show you when I come to that, but I thought I should warn you about that. So I have counted all the grid lines, and for the short side of the fabric it is 180 stitches. So it's going to be 90 stitches on each side. What I do is I count 10 stitches as I'm working on even weave, and this is a specific project, the whole kit says work on over 2, so I will work over 2 threads in the even V. So I've counted down, so I have 20 threads, which equal 10 stitches down here. Just a little note, when I did this count, I actually counted it wrong, and I put my needle in and then I recounted it and I discovered my fault. I always do that when I grid. I always count twice, sometimes even 3 times, to be sure that when I actually pull the thread through, I have the right amount. I have gridded wrong before, this is why I double check it, and it confused me a lot and I had to re-grid it, and doing a re-gridding when you have started stitching is complicated. So really recommend count it twice, 3 times, 4 times. Now this time I'm working with a longer thread. This thread is actually double the size of the fabric, because I'm just gonna let it go around and just continue up again with the next line, so that I get 2 lines per thread. I thought I'd show you how what I do to get to the other side, because this actually is also a way of counting. What I do is I count 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, and then I count and go inside. Then I count 2 stitches, 1, 2 stitches, and then I count another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Having the stitches going upside, just under and around again. This is a way of getting, it's 10. 4 plus 4 plus 2 is 10. So you get this little, you don't get a big lump here to pull out and that you get stuck in. It's just stitched down. And also you can just continue on. It makes it easier to count. So this is how I turn my gridding thread. I decided to actually stitch all of the fabric, all of the grids, but I thought I'd show you this. I actually go precisely after the pattern when I do my grid, and as I said earlier, in this pattern you had here, up here, the box here, see that the middle line is in the middle of a grid, and as you see here I've chosen to put the middle line first and then the grid around it. So this matches perfectly with my pattern, and therefore I will always have it easy to find my place. And also something I thought I'd say, when I did this I started with the gridding the middle part, and then I gridded on the sides of it. So on one side of the fabric I actually have this end showing, and these like turns that I have here, so I will always know that this is the middle one. And just as this, here you only see that it's 3 threads, but if I go to the bottom of the fabric, you see again here I have these turns, so I have this middle one showing that this is the middle. And that is how I grid, and that is how I prepare. Now I can start embroidering. Now I can start doing my cross stitches. Yeah, and some reasons why I do the 10 by 10 and such is because 10 is actually a very easy number to count, and it's called counted cross stitching for a reason. So I can actually easier see instead of needing to count. Maybe 2, I know that 2 is very simple here, and this will make it easier for when you have rows that go maybe 20, 30 stitches in a row, and you can just count to 3. 30 is 3. It's so much simpler when I have a grid. It goes so much faster. I don't have to recount everything, which I have a tendency to do when I don't grid. But that was my grid video. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions just comment down below, and I'll see you later. Bye!